Welcome to another video. Today, because the Path of Champions is going to be sunset in maybe about 2 months, I don't want to go into the big process of always, doing a voiceover and then telling you exactly what, getting all the assets ready. And so I think for now, a good medium ground is to, instead of me just doing random Legends of Runeterra videos, continue doing the Path of Champions videos for now, and making it more like this. And I think this will be a little bit more personal for the next iteration of Path of Champions, because although it will be very personalized to me, it'll be more of like a little vlog on how I'm doing in the Path of Champions. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the major parts of this run on Vi versus Viktor, and you're going to see how I did, what cool things I found, or what were the most frustrating parts. And so we will go on with that. For starters, you will see that my first two things that I got right away is my startup with Vi. That is to get that +2/+2 on to get that +2/+2 when I survive damage. It's called the Berserker's Buckle. I don't know where I got it from, but outside of that, I also wanted to equip her with the Overwhelm. The Overwhelm does a very good job with the remainder of her build, because she can go up to 10-11 attack, and with Overwhelm, it'll do like 7 damage, and if she survives that, or when she hits the next time, she will not have a +2 and still +2 in health, so that way she can survive maybe the next attack, right? And you'll see just why this combo is so powerful. The next thing that I got was my Nexus buildup, which is the Stabilize. We decided to go with Stabilize because the effect is when you summon a champion, summon an exact ephemeral copy of it. And we decided to go with that because we can summon two Vi's. Let's say that we got her up to the 10 attack, right? We summon her. The next one is summoned. You're able to then use the ephemeral one to attack, level up the non-ephemeral Vi. So then the first one, let's say it does 6 damage, right? It levels up the other one. The other one will now do 7 damage in Overwhelm, and then it will do an extra 5 from her ability. So if you pay attention to that, it will do 6 damage, right? +7, that's 13, +5, that's 18. And when you're dropping her down in mana 5, you've probably done 1 or 2 mana nexus damage, right? So it's a pretty much an OTK as soon as you summon her with 10 damage, right? And so that's kind of where we're gonna go. I don't really want to go over a lot of the cards that I got from here. There are a few. For example, we did get, as our partnering move or partnering person, we did get a Viego. Viego is a very good card, especially for this reason. We can summon Viego, and we can when the ephemeral one's destroyed, we get a encroaching mist. But most importantly, once you get, like, let's say a Vi and a Viego on the field, they both have ephemeral, they both die, and then Viego gets an automatic level up, right? So I think they have very good synergy. The only bad part is that they're somewhat mid game to late game champions, and so we want to make sure to keep that in mind. And so our first thing that we're going to talk about is we're only going to highlight 2 of the biggest things. The other ones kind of follow the same thing, but the more exciting matches are the champion matches. So I'm going to go into the Azir and Vi one, which is at 2030. And you'll see that it picked up a few other cards, and I'll talk about them. And the good thing about this is I don't have to voice over really quickly. I can actually just go straight into the matches that I like and be able to pause when I want. So the first thing that we see here is we know that Azir and Viego are going to have a very tough time, especially in the beginning matches. You see that I'm starting with 18 in my Nexus, and so we already know right away this is not going to be a good match for us if we don't draw early game. You can see here exactly why I say that. Check this out. I go from 18 right? And I go straight into 13 almost instantly, right? I lose five nexus on my first round. And so I need to start building. So I summon my pharaohs, which I, picked up along the path, and I'm trying to think which one should I get. I decide going with the harrowing because if I can survive long enough, right? If I can survive long enough, I can create this huge thing, especially if a Vi's dead or a Viego's dead. We can go straight into basically an OTK with the stabilize, right? So now we're thinking they are going to attack on mana 3, and so I just need to heal a little bit and possibly have a chump blocker. That's what I'm thinking here. So I thought, you know what, I kind of want the quick attack guy, but I prefer the ballistic bot just because it will generate cards for us that we can use for Vi. It's a good blocker because it can block the 1/2s, right? Okay, my dogs started going crazy. They're not my dogs, but my neighbors. So I wanted to make sure that we have everything ready so that there's not big distractions in the background. And so we, we need some life steal, or not life steal, but some life gain. And so I thought maybe I can get the armor gearhead, but then it'll die to their attacks, and we don't want to waste as much mana because now we can actually summon our ballistic bot, so that way we can be able to block. I was thinking maybe I can use the mystic shot because it'll last a little bit longer, but what I'm also looking for is to make sure that we deal damage to the units that are actually going to be there, because next round they'll just summon another sand soldier, right? And so we want to make sure that their permanent units are gone as much as possible. The bad thing is Azir also has regeneration, so we can't really do much with that person anyway. There's no point in chump blocking. They're going to lose anyway, right? So I go ahead and I try to summon the soldier, and my chances here, or what I'm thinking, is I can use the ignition, but I'd rather get a little bit of nexus damage. So I'm gonna summon my elusive, and I'm gonna slowly add more elusive cards to my board for one specific reason, and that's that I want to make sure that if any sand soldier comes up with elusive, I have a blocker, right? That's the only reason. And honestly, when I was playing this, I would get some things that, some sand soldiers, 2 or 3 of them at once that had elusive, and I would just lose, right? Check this out. This is why we have the stabilize. It now gives me an extra Viego, and this is able to not only block but be able to kill the Azir. And now I'm just trying to see what's the best way to block. Again, I apologize for the dogs. There's nothing I can do. I can try my best, but I mean, if you guys are fans of me, or you guys watch my videos, you guys know just how crazy it gets. But yes, the next thing is, like I said before, trying to damage those. In fact, because I wanted to damage, instead I should have used the ballistic bot somewhere to be able to moving this Camavorin dude instead of the ballistic bot, because it would have done a little more damage to their units. I'm trying to see what I should summon, but I think I want to save my mana because that is a mystic shot right there. And as soon as we are done with this, the Viego is able to level up, right? And check this out, now I'm able to steal one of their units. This is why I really liked Viego, because look at this in the mid game now, right? At 6, we are, doing a great job. They summon a quicksand, which is totally okay. I don't mind that one bit. And I'm going to use a final damage spell just so that way we can level up our Vi when she attacks. One thing that I wish I could have done is here summon a Poro, because I just wanted it to get in that extra damage and then still have an elusive blocker, right? I should have just done that extra damage, but then I remembered that I was going to get a sand soldier, so I'm like, oh, you know what, maybe it was a good idea, right? Maybe it was okay. You see now the Vi is fully leveled up, and check out this massive damage, right? We're basically back to normal. I wanted to make sure that we keep their board empty as possible, but I know that one card's coming in, and it's a card that says like grant everything vulnerable and summon like 1,000 sand soldiers. This one, Emperor's Divide. It is a late game winner for their side, and I knew I was going to lose. See, there's two elusives. They always have elusives, um, and so I thought, you know what? I can summon four. I can actually get hit by one. I can get hit by one because I have a Mystic Shot. They are so strange, or the computer's so strange, that they decided to develop, and now I said, you know what? Now I can develop with this, right? Um, they're able to block perfectly, but they actually block the elusives, which is something that I couldn't necessarily fully block. And they had a fearsome, so they could have won with that. But because it's a computer and not a real person, I'm able to now go for the attack and survive this round. And I know next round I'm winning because we have a 15-6 Vi with Overwhelm and an 11-4 Fearsome with Viego. Not only that, check out this next part. This is why I decided to get the Harrowing after Pharaohs. I start thinking to myself, what should I do? Should I just go for the blank attack? I know I'm gonna win, but they do have this 4-cost card that reduces my attacks by 2 in each. And even though that's not gonna be enough, I just don't want to do anything. I don't want them to have that quick spell with the sand soldiers, right? They summon 2 sand soldiers, they block my people, and then I lose, right? So I just want to make sure that there's no way possible that I can lose by using the Harrowing. Look at how huge the Vi's are, right? And notice again, they got elusive. Somehow Azir always gets elusive. But now this is the game, and you're able to see why I decided to go with Viego and Vi. They work perfectly with each other. If an ephemeral Vi dies after Viego, you can see that it just becomes really, really good, right? Our next big thing is I want to show you guys something that becomes really cool once I get my next startup items. The first thing I get is not this part. This part we can kind of skip a little bit. Oh, did I go too far? Okay, this is the other champion thing that I got. Ready? I reroll, and I get the second stabilize. If you get 2 stabilizes in a row, or in any path of champions, you pretty much win. There was a run with Teemo and Nautilus that I accidentally forgot to record. I was just playing on my phone, and I got double stabilized, and it won me the game on mana 2. Okay, mana 2, we win. But there is no way I can I had to record it, and so you're just gonna believe me on how good it is if you get a double stabilize in this match. And in fact, it plays so perfectly. You're going to see what I get. This is what's going to make sure that my difficulty in this game is way lighter than it should have been. I honestly had a difficulty with Vi, with Nautilus, but with Viktor I had a very decent chance because Vi is more of a late game smasher that I couldn't do. Some things you notice here, Viego, I got him to be a 3. It was just like a random thing, a shop that had me lower Viego, and so that's what I decided to get. But you're going to see how crazy it is with Viego. Okay, we are going to draw a lot in this game, and we're gonna skip this one because you'll see just how easy it becomes, and you'll see what my pattern is. But we're gonna see the best thing in Legends of Runeterra Path of Champions. They get to summon. I'm actually gonna skip this. Oh, okay, this is mana 3. Check out what Path of Champions lets you do. So, whoa. So let me explain that real quick, right? Let me explain that real quick. The first stabilize, you summon a champion. So this is champion, right? The stabilize, first stabilize, creates this champion, right? And then the second stabilize says, hey, I still have to copy this guy. So it copies him. So now there's 3 of our champions, right? However, this was created by the first stabilize. So the second stabilize says, hey, you summon the champion. We need to add another one, right? And then the first stabilize looks at this one now and says, hey, you guys summon the champion. And then the first stabilize again starts looping it because this was created by the second stabilize. And so you can essentially infinitely create your champions. This is insane. Just 2 stabilizes creates an insane amount of value. It's impossible to lose. Check this out, right? We are going to quickly just see this, right? They're all 6/5 now, right? And I'm going to attack. I don't want to attack with my Viego, my non-ephemeral, because they might block it, right? Check this out. Whoa. Bam. Viego level up in 1 turn. How cool is that? We brought them down from 40 to 25 real easy. And you'll also get to see later on just how much insane this gets. And so this battle is kind of over once I was able to do that, right? I'm just gonna skip ahead. You're seeing just how crazy Viego's starting to get. So we're gonna go on into the final battle at 3620. Okay, before we get there, we're gonna look at what ability I got. Okay, this is the final thing that created this ultimate broken run in Path of Champions. I'm gonna get a reward, and I get the Trifarian Might. When you summon a 5+ power ally, it strikes the weakest enemy. Remember that loop, right? Let's say we summon a Vi with 6 attack. It summons infinite Vi's, and each Vi will go and attack the strongest enemy. It dies, next one comes in, strikes, dies, next one comes in, strikes, and it just will go on a constant loop. So basically, I have a Ruination on a summon at 3 mana. We will actually see it in effect in this game. Check this out. Going, they summon a Trail of Evidence. I'm gonna pass. They don't decide to do anything. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna summon the Soul Shepherd, which I got from the run before. Throughout the run, I mean, just so it can give me that extra draw. It also increases my ephemeral attacks. It's not necessarily mandatory for this game, but it is very handy. It can increase the buffs of our Vi, so we can get there a little bit faster, right? But check this out. Okay, Viego drops down, and with the double stabilize and Trifarian Might, all right, takes the first hit, takes the second hit, takes the third hit, takes the fourth hit, automatic level up from Viego, easy, and then it goes and creates infinite Viegos. Okay, now what are they gonna do? Right? That is the power of double stabilized Trifarian Might. And I think we're gonna do the same thing with Vi next time. I'm gonna go for the attack just so we can weaken them. I can develop further, but if they develop some sort of, lifesteal person, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just go for the attack right now while I still am, dealing massive damage. Here is the next thing. We're just going to develop our board so we can have blockers, because I know that they're going to develop next time and they'll be able to go for the attack. I'm going to use the gotcha on the Poro because it's elusive and I don't want to deal with elusives. It also has Scout and I don't want to deal with Scout. This one has regeneration, which is a little bit better because I can use one of my Poros to actually block this, right? And as you see, the more I'm playing, the more I'm building, Vi is only getting stronger. Even even the unit that I stole, I can use that as a chump blocker. Unfortunately, they now created elusives, which is something that I can't deal with. But luckily this one is not, so I can use their own unit to chump block and then summon my Vi. So I'm going to let this go through. I can even summon an extra pour if I really wanted to. I can heal, right? I can even summon the Neandroid. I don't know why I decided to use all my mana this way, but I mean, doesn't really matter at this point. You know what's coming up the next turn. Right here, I'm just thinking, how do I want to block? I think I also got a text, but that doesn't even matter. I already know I won. Easy. We're gonna summon. Actually, we don't get to summon too many Vi's. I think we only get to summon 2 of them, but you'll see just why this is such a broken combo. Get the Viego, and we're gonna go for the Vi summon. She is an 8, right? And this is why I tend to speed up my stuff. You get to see that I'm thinking about the best and safest way to go about this. But I think overall we just want to make sure that we end the game as quick as possible. Check this out. It kills one, it goes again, it kills another, right? And so we're always left with 2. Because one of them is ephemeral, it's a 10-7. It's going to cause the level up, right? And just like that, check out the damage. 40, right? Even if they destroy their own unit, it's GG. Thank you guys so much for looking at that double stabilized Trifarian Might insane thing in Path of Champions. And I think this is an amazing show of what you can do with different champions. So I think going into the future, we might end up sticking with this formula. I think this is a very interesting, very fun way to show it without me having to show like a guide. It'll be more of highlights. So thank you so much for joining me. I will continue on to provide you guys Legends of Runeterra content, so feel free to subscribe. It would mean the world to me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.